Something's shifting across America's most iconic cities, and it's changing how the world sees the U.S. In 2025, the country is facing a silent tourism crisis. Flights are emptier, hotels are offering discounts, and the crowds? They're thinning across places that were once overflowing. International travelers aren't just hesitating, they're choosing other destinations entirely. Not because of weather, not because of price, but because of something deeper: uncertainty, frustration, and a shift in global perception. This isn't a temporary dip, it's a turning point, one that's unfolding in real time. And no places are feeling it more than the cities that once defined the American travel dream. These are the 7 U.S. cities hit the hardest in 2025, and what their decline reveals about the future of American tourism. Number 1. New York. New York City has always been America's beating heart, and for decades, Times Square was its pulse. But in 2025, that energy is flickering. This year, the city is bracing for 2 million fewer international visitors than in 2024, a 17% drop, according to New York City Tourism and Conventions. And it's not just about foot traffic. International tourists may only make up 20% of visitors, but they account for half of all tourism revenue. The impact is massive. Canadian travelers, once a cornerstone of New York City tourism, are staying away. Tour operators say they're losing school groups, family tours, and loyal clients. Some blame rising costs. Others point to politics, like Trump's remark that Canada should become the 51st state. One Canadian-focused tour operator told CNN their bookings have collapsed. "That's 40% of my business. Gone." And beyond politics, it's about perception. Travelers from Australia, Europe, and South America say they fear being detained or denied entry. A student from Italy called it a hostile environment. On the ground, it's visible. Veteran guides now lead groups of 5 instead of 20. Some fear losing their jobs. They call it the city that never sleeps. But with international arrivals down, it's starting to feel unusually quiet. In 2025, New York isn't just losing tourists, it's losing its global magic. But New York isn't alone. The silence is spreading. Number 2. Los Angeles. Los Angeles has always sold the dream. Golden beaches, movie magic, and palm-lined streets under perfect skies. But in 2025, the city is struggling to maintain that illusion. Tourism numbers are slipping, and international travelers are backing off. Los Angeles tourism officials say the city was on track to return to pre-pandemic highs, until the last few months. Now bookings are stalling. Visitor spending is softening. The narrative around LA is shifting. Part of the problem is visibility. Wildfire headlines, safety concerns, and tense politics are all making international travelers think twice. And while California's economy depends heavily on tourism, foreign visitors are no longer showing up in the same numbers. The impact is especially sharp with Canadians, a group that once flocked to California in droves. Earlier this year, Governor Gavin Newsom made headlines by publicly urging Canadians to return, saying, "California is open, and we miss you." But sentiment isn't easy to fix. Tour companies say demand from Europe and Asia is slipping too, not just for LA, but for the US in general. California may still be a dream, but in 2025, fewer people are chasing it. But the next city's unraveling is even more visible and more urgent. Number 3, Las Vegas. Las Vegas built its legacy on spectacle, bright lights, sold-out shows, and a promise that something incredible was always happening. But in 2025, the Strip feels different. Visitor volume has dropped nearly 8% year over year, according to Las Vegas tourism officials. Hotel occupancy is softening, dipping to around 82.9%, and gaming revenue on the Strip, long a measure of the city's economic pulse, is down nearly 5%. Those numbers would have been unthinkable just a few years ago. It's not just an American issue. Australian travel to the US has plummeted, and Vegas, once a top destination for Aussie tourists, is feeling the blow. One travel agent told news.com.au that clients now see US cities as too uncertain, pointing to visa risks, political tensions, and safety concerns. Just like in New York, operators in Vegas are quietly struggling. Some shows are scaling back. Restaurants on the Strip are offering deep discounts, hoping to fill empty tables. Canada has long been Las Vegas's biggest international market, but even that is slipping. Forward bookings for summer 2025 are already down over 70%, suggesting the worst may still be ahead. The lights still shine in Vegas, but the crowds? They're thinner. The energy? Muted. And our next destination shows what happens when even family vacations start to vanish. Number 4, Orlando. Orlando is supposed to be bulletproof, a city built around imagination, escape, and childhood dreams, with Disney, Universal, and dozens of attractions that once guaranteed packed flights and sold-out hotels. But in 2025, even the most magical place on Earth is feeling the pressure. Tourism officials aren't releasing panic-level numbers, but insiders are seeing the signs. Softer bookings from the UK and Europe, fewer extended stays, and a shift toward cheaper alternatives. Even Walt Disney World, the crown jewel of American family tourism, has reported declines in international ticket sales and resort occupancy. Flight and package data show that families from Canada, Germany, and even Latin America are starting to look elsewhere, from Paris to Tokyo to theme parks across Asia that feel newer, cheaper, or less politically fraught. Some travel agents say it's not about the rides, it's about the vibe. Rising prices, tipping anxiety, travel insurance complications, and political tensions are making the U.S. feel like too much work for what used to be a no-brainer vacation. For a city built around joy and escape, that's a warning sign. But the next city's problem isn't fantasy, it's perception, and it's costing them. Number 5, San Francisco. There was a time when San Francisco felt like the future, a blend of beauty, innovation, and culture perched above the bay. But in 2025, the future looks abandoned. International tourism is down, and the drop-off feels personal. Once flooded with visitors from Europe and Asia, San Francisco is now fighting a reputation it never wanted: expensive, unsafe, and past its prime. Travel forums are flooded with questions like, is it still worth visiting? And increasingly, the answer from past visitors is no. Social media clips of empty downtown streets, shuttered shops, and homeless encampments are doing more damage than any headline could. It's not just online chatter. Local businesses are reporting fewer tour groups and less foot traffic in iconic areas like Fisherman's Wharf and Chinatown. Hotel bookings from international guests are noticeably softer, especially from Germany and the UK. One tour operator said it bluntly, "The dreamers used to come here. Now they're going somewhere else." For decades, San Francisco was one of the most photogenic cities in the world. Now it's the backdrop for a different story. And next, we head inland, to a city that once held global attention, now quietly falling off the map. Number 6, Chicago. At first glance, Chicago has everything a traveler could want: world-class museums, stunning lake views, deep dish pizza, jazz, history, art. And yet in 2025, it's quietly slipping off the itinerary. Tourism officials have noted a slump in international bookings, especially from Canada and Europe. Travel agencies say that Chicago, once a go-to stop on cross-country U.S. tours, is increasingly skipped in favor of cities seen as safer or more exciting. Some of that is perception. Headlines about crime, even when exaggerated, have stuck. And unlike coastal destinations, Chicago doesn't benefit from bucket list status abroad. It's iconic to Americans, but less magnetic to the rest of the world. One UK-based tour planner put it bluntly, "People are just nervous. They'll fly into Chicago, but they won't stay." In response, the city has launched a large-scale recovery campaign involving over 250 local hotels, museums, and attractions. But the focus is domestic. International demand is still trailing behind. For a city once proud to call itself the second city, 2025 feels like it's slipping further down the list. And finally, we head south, where palm trees and sunshine haven't been enough to keep the tourists coming. Number 7, Miami. Miami has always been more than just a beach. It's where cultures collide: Cuban cafes, Art Deco skylines, Caribbean rhythms pulsing through the streets. For decades, it's been one of the most popular U.S. cities for international travelers, especially from Latin America and Europe. But in 2025, that momentum is slowing. International flight arrivals are down. Travel bookings from South America, Canada, and parts of Europe are dipping. And for a city like Miami, even a small shift hits hard. Airlines have cut some seasonal routes. Hotel deals are popping up in places that were once booked solid. Part of it is perception. Tourists say Miami feels more expensive, more crowded, and more tense. One Argentine traveler told El País, "It feels like a city unsure of itself. Flashy, but less friendly." And some of it is politics. Florida's national headlines, from immigration crackdowns to anti-LGBTQ+ laws, have sparked controversy abroad. In some Latin American media, Miami no longer feels like a second home, but like a risk. For a city built on global flair and open arms, that shift matters. Because when even Miami loses its cool, the story stops being local and starts becoming global. Across 7 cities, the message is clear. Visitors aren't just skipping a trip. They're reevaluating what America represents. And unless that perception shifts, U.S. tourism may keep fading from the global map. But if you're looking for somewhere that's still capturing hearts, we just explored Italy in a new video on the Global Stroll. It's a cinematic guide through coastlines, cities, and timeless beauty. You can watch it next. Links on screen now.